Let's talk about nu metal horror, a curious era of genre cinema that I've got a very soft spot for. Here's the thing, if you were tapped into the MTV culture back in like the late 90s or early 2000s, you most likely remember that nu metal had all the hot topic goths and emos in a chokehold. Korn, System of a Down, Slipknot, Mudvayne, Rob Zombie. Man, even saying those names, it's like self-loathing to the max. So what the hell even is nu metal horror? Yeah, something like that. Just like with any trend, studios knew exactly when to capitalize on it, and that's how nu metal cinema was born. Aesthetically and sonically, it was just dripping with edge, darkness, and angst. We can trace this to the early 90s with The Crow, its sequel, Spawn, among many others, but in this video I'd like to highlight some of my personal horror favorites in terms of how they utilize this aesthetic. Ronnie used Bride of Chucky, which I consider to be the first truly successful studio nu metal horror. This is the movie you get when you hire a successful Hong Kong genre filmmaker to direct a sequel in your classic horror franchise. Dark humor, goth visual aesthetic, all set to Rob Zombie and Static X. The opening scene blasting Living Dead Girl is just so good. Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2, so this one's much maligned because the director Joe Berlinger's original vision was largely devoid of the nu metal elements that were added later by the studio. This thing opens with a Manson needle drop, yeah, you can tell it's a different time, got Rob Zombie's Dragula in the mix, has both goth and Wiccan characters in it, and functionally recontextualizes the Blair Witch Project using Berlinger's metafictional approach. Yeah, this thing's got vibes for days. Bones, man, I love Bones so much. This movie's so weird. It's basically a modern gothic blaxploitation movie with some giallo iconography, and somehow Snoop Dogg also plays a Clive Barker-esque villain. What's not to love here? Not a ton of nu metal in this one, but this movie's a curiosity because director Ernest R. Dickerson blends the visual aesthetic of the nu metal era with the hallmarks of various horror subgenres from the 70s, all set to a hip-hop soundtrack. Queen of the Damned. This right here is the quintessential nu metal horror film, a standalone sequel to Interview with a Vampire, which is basically a 100-minute long Korn music video. The soundtrack was produced by Korn's very own JD, but due to contractual limitations, he wasn't allowed to perform the songs himself, so instead you got Linkin Park, Static X, Papa Roach, Deftones, among many others. Is it a great film? Not really, but it's the finest exemplification of the early 2000s pop gothic. It also features a Change in the House of Flies needle drop, which automatically makes this the best movie ever made. Freddy vs. Jason, well, this one's pretty self-explanatory. Once again, Ronnie Yu is at the helm of a major horror IP, this time two of them. This is as much of a horror comedy as Bride of Chucky, chock full of fan service for both Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. This one is a crossover movie with the most stacked metal soundtrack. Check this out. Look at this. Look at this. It's just so fun. House of Wax. Well, if you couldn't already tell, I love this movie. This is the best Dark Castle remake, and I'm very much a Jaume Calais era truther. They literally built and burned down an entire town for this movie. That's what $40 million in Robert Zemeckis get. Opens with Deftones, ends with MCR, has Paris Hilton in a major role, and even structured its questionable marketing around it. Literally a perfect film in my eyes. Well, I could talk to you for hours about the impact of the Saw films on post-Patriot Act American horror cinema, but the second entry specifically is the last hurrah of nu metal horror. It's literally pure grunge through and through, with Mudvayne blasting through the credits. Director Darren Lynn Bousman even directed the music video for the band, back when that was in vogue.